Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host AMF1534 here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Rush 2 Extreme Racing USA. And today what we're going to be doing, there are 4 races left before we unlock our lovely extra thing to do. And in the process of which we have 2 specials, and we've got 2 regulars left. So we'll knock out the lesser of 2 evils, and we'll do the regular ones. So we have Los Angeles, and we have the uptown part of New York with dual baseball fields right next to each other. So I think we'll do this one first, just because it takes a little bit longer, so why freaking not? So let's get down to business. Oh boy. Today was a long day. I actually had to open today, and I'm not really used to doing that during the regular part of the week. Like, the only time I'm really used to opening is on Sundays, but I open at noon, so it's like hardly a thing at all. And I really haven't been sleeping well at all, man. It's been pretty bad. Like, pretty much ever since I moved back in December, I have not really had... I think I've probably had the amount of nights of good sleep that I've had since I moved, I could probably count on one hand, and that's never a good thing to say. Because that is about 3 months right there. Well, it's close to 3 months now. So it's been pretty rough, man. I can't get used to that damn bed. It's the worst part. And because of the fact that I had to open and I had to like be reliable for that, I can't like just go strolling in like a half an hour late like, what up bitches? I decided to pull my trump card, and I barely ever do this unless I'm like either drunk or I'm extremely tired or I'm sick or I've got like something that I really have to make sure that I'm in line for it. I decided to sleep without my TV on, and anybody that knows me knows that is like the absolute last resort. I mean, that is Papa Roach style action for me. And so I slept without my TV on, and God, that was such a nightmare. It really was. At one point I woke up in the middle of the night just because I couldn't sleep, and it was like probably like 4:45 in the morning, and I woke up and I couldn't feel my arms, and then I realized that the reason why that was because I think I must have dreamt that I was on a roller coaster or something, because I woke up and my arms were just straight up in the air. Just straight up. Like, one of them was like up against the wall behind me, but the other one was just straight up in the air. So either I was dreaming that I was on a roller coaster, or I had a dream that I was in like an old like monster movie and I was like fucking Frankenstein or something, getting ready to come down off the bed after I got, you know, struck by lightning, doing the or just a classic Hank Hill. Dude, what if Frankenstein did the Hank Hill? Like, what if that was the noise that he made instead of, you know, what he normally did? That would have made that movie so much better. And by that I mean really not necessarily. Like, if it were supposed to be a comedy movie, absolutely. That would have made that movie at least 31.85 times more funny. But as far as like horror value goes, probably not. But yeah, dude, that was what I was dealing with. And so I woke up and I made it to work on time, thank God. And I'm sitting there just like barely even coherent, like barely conscious, just like not even all there. And the first call that I took today from a customer was just totally on some BS, man. I'm talking totally on some ball sacks, some Brian Scalabrinis, some Bubsy in space. It was not tight, and it was so funny because like I feel like this lady that called me had absolutely, like, she did not think it through before she called and talked to me, because her situation, it's just like a thing, like, if you have any sort of, you know, level of common sense, you would not have asked that question for starters already. So let me run this down on yet another installment of Adam's Health Tips, where you learn shit whether you like it or not. Wing. It's this lady, and so I cannot stress how hilarious this is. If you're working in the health industry, you know exactly the ramifications of this. But this lady calls, and she's like, "Hey, I got a question for you." And this is probably going to sound weird, and believe me, it was. It didn't start off being weird, but it certainly started going that way pretty quick. So this lady's like, do you guys just sell like empty capsules that you can put your own powdered stuff into? I was like, oh yeah, I got plenty of those. And like I was like, I got just about every size that they make those, and I got like the miniature. The sizing scale that they have for empty capsules makes absolutely no sense, by the way. It is the most ass backwards thing that you could possibly do for the way that they size those things out. So the absolute smallest size that they make is size 3. And the largest size that they make is size 000. So we're going backwards in the way we do this. They make miniature size 3, which that's the absolute smallest they go. And then after that they do size 1. And then from there they do single aught, which would be single 0. Then they do double aught, and then the largest size is triple aught, and that's like the size that you're getting, like that's like the ones that you get for like your amino acid or like your calcium pills, like the ones that are just those big honking horse pills. That's what you're looking at. So like that's the biggest they go, and you'll understand what I'm talking about in a minute here. So she's like, do you guys sell empty capsules, right? And I was like, oh sure, we've got all the sizes available and whatever. She's like, oh okay, cool. Because what I was wanting to do is I'm wanting to get more protein in my diet, and so I was thinking about putting my protein powder in those. I was like, I definitely don't get a lot of people asking about that very often. She's like, do you guys sell like protein pills, just like actual protein pills? Like, is that a thing that people do? I was like, I mean, yeah, we do that. There's one company that we carry for that really does that. It's not a particularly common practice. She's like, well, how many grams of protein's in one pill? I was like, well, let's see, the one that I've got, it's 1 gram per pill. She's like, wait a minute, really? That's it? I was like, yeah, that's pretty standard. She's like, well, do they make them any stronger than that? I was like, well, I mean, generally not really. I mean, the strongest that I've ever seen as far as like a protein pill goes, I think was 2.2 grams. Like that was like the absolute ceiling that they drew for that. Like they just don't make them any bigger than that. And she's like, well, I don't understand why they would do that. That doesn't seem like very much at all. I was like, well, how much were you thinking you were going to get out of that? She's like, well, I was thinking at least I could get like 50 grams in there. And I was like, wait a minute, time out. You were thinking that you could fit 50 grams of protein into one single capsule. And she's like, well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? I was like, pardon me for saying it, but no, that does not. She's like, well, why not? I was like, okay, just think for a minute here. Think for just a second. Like, think about how large 50 grams is. Like, you take your scoop of protein that's like 25 grams. That's generally like the size of a regular scoop of protein powder is like 25 grams, and they're usually using like a laundry detergent scoop to get that out. Like, that's 25 grams. Now you take 2 times that much, and you mean to tell me you think you're gonna get that into one capsule, even like the largest size? You think you're gonna fit all that into one capsule? And she's like, well, I guess not. But don't they make them in like super concentrated liquids? I was like, I mean, they make a little bit larger for that, but still, I mean, you're not gonna even touch that level. Like, it's just not gonna happen. They don't really do it that way. So no. I was like, really what you're gonna end up doing is you're either going to you're gonna fit probably about like 1 or 2 grams into one. Oh damn it, I went back in here again. That's not what I meant to do. I was like, you're either gonna fit, you're either gonna be taking 50 pills a day to get the 50 that you are looking for, or you're just gonna have to stick to doing shakes, which is an infinitely easier and less expensive idea. Because you'd be tossing down a lot of pills, and I mean, I don't even think even pill junkies, as much as they love throwing pills into themselves, I don't even think even they are going to, enjoy taking 50 of those at a time, because it's just not going to happen that way. So, I mean, I know they're a pain in the ass. I know. Doing protein shakes all the time is probably got to wear on you at some point. But, dude, you can't, you're not going to get 50 G's all up in one thing there. That is a fairly unrealistic thing. But it was funny. She's like, well, you know what? You know what I think about that? I think that's just a load of horse shit. And I was like, whoa, hold on a minute. Like, yeah, no, you don't need to get mad about that. Like, I'm sorry that the world didn't make that so amazingly convenient because, you know, just drinking a glass of chocolate protein is so hard, you know, that you can't just take one pill and have it all go away. And this entire time that she's sitting here talking about this, I kept thinking about the song, like the song lyric, take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Whoa, God. Ground control to Major Tom. I kept thinking of that the entire time, and I wanted to say it to her so bad, even though she would have been like, wait, what are you talking about? And it would have had zero purpose being in there, but I wanted to say it. Because I got to the point where I was just like, oh my God, come on, man. Like, you don't... Just cut your losses here. I'm telling you it's a bad idea and that they don't do it. Don't sit here and try to tell me that the world just needs to invent this just like right on the spot so you can have it. I'm sure they will one day if they haven't, or if they're, you know, still working on that concept, but just, you know, take the easier way out. Use, you know, just fill up a glass with powder and put some damn milk in there. You're good to go. Like, protein shakes don't taste that bad nowadays. They have really made strides in the last, like, 10 years or so. Because, I mean, unless you're, you know, unless you were alive in the 70s, man, you have no clue. Like, I wasn't alive in the 70s, obviously, but I got to have the experience. Like, the companies that were around back then that were making protein, I got to try some of those. And I got to have a taste of what it was like to, you know, to do protein shakes and protein bars in the 70s and 80s. And my God, it was not tight. Those were hard times. Those were harsh times at Ridgemont High. Not fast times, unless you were really throwing those down fast, because they were gross. It was like somebody taking just, you know, like a handful of chalk and just grinding it up and putting like some really, really low grade like chocolate or vanilla powder and like barely sprinkling that in there, because that stuff was just god awful. It was god awful. It was Allah bad. It was like Buddha disgusting. It was a lot of different levels of religious deities mixed with a term for bad. It was really not good. And protein bars were worse. Like they were hard as bricks because they couldn't hold like any moisture at all, and the texture on them were just disgusting. So yeah, be happy what they are now, man, because they make those things taste really good now. Like those things, it's basically like, it tastes like you're having an actual milkshake or like a scoop of ice cream or something nowadays. They have really gone on the upside of that whole thing. So yeah, man, like today it was a day of people just asking strange questions, like like dealing with people that didn't speak English and having awkward, you know, language barriers. That's not the kind of day that I needed, especially on a day where I was already just kind of dragging a little bit, because, you know, that's how it is on Fridays. It's the worst to have Friday Mondays, man. That's the worst type of coming off a weekend to have, when everybody else is just about ready to, you know, to fall into theirs, and you're just starting your week out. Like, that's the worst way to have it go down. But hey, what do you do? What the hell do you do, you know? Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go. There we go. I just realized we've had the same song playing for a while. Let's go to no, not that one. Why not? Yeah, we'll go with this one. Yeah, there we go. It feels good to have a little switch up in the theme. I totally didn't even register the fact that I'd had that same theme going for quite some time now. So I apologize for that. I try to mix up music when I can, but I just I couldn't handle it. I had to go through a little period of time of hearing my favorite song in the game, so I done did it, damn it. All right, here we go. We gotta catch up a little bit here. We made things a little bit harder on ourselves. Whoa. There we go. We're good. We're good. I'm usually a little bit more likely to take the first spot there instead of taking that little innard area that I just took, because it's you have to make a much sharper turn. You give yourself such a higher probability of totally wrecking and blowing yourself up. All right, Mr. Pickup. Mr. Pickup Truck. She never even called me by my name. Oh boy, there we go. Okay. Now, as long as we don't do anything stupid here, I think we're gonna be okay. Which that includes not going that way. Because that is just an instant death waiting to happen, because I think I only pulled that off once. Now, let's see if we can actually do this right for a change. We've totally blown up both times going through here, which I don't know if I've done that in a while. It usually takes a special type of stupid to pull that off, so I'm just going to take the easy way. Going into that jump in third gear is actually really not a bad idea. I mean, you sacrifice your speed, but you gain a lot of control in that situation. It gives you control of the world. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Now we're good. Now we're gold. I really want to put this controller down. My hands hurt something fierce right now. I've already told you guys about it a little bit, but I deal with chronic eczema, and it only happens like I get this really bad dry skin on my hands, but it only happens like it's very infrequent. Like when like the climate changes pretty drastically, which is exactly what's been going on in Oregon lately. Like it'll be really hot for a couple days, and then it'll go back to being cold and like moist, and then it'll go back to being, you know, warm and dry again, and it's really messing with my skin. And so when my eczema flares up really bad, like my hands will just dry out super bad, and like the skin will start peeling off in like these little tiny circular patches on my hands, and then it feels like under my skin, it feels like I'm getting blisters like under my skin, like it hurts. And so like if I'm holding on to things, or like example today, because we got freight in, I had to price all that stuff, and you got to hold the price gun, and you got to like twist the little dials on there to get the numbers, you know, lined up so you can, you know, make the tags. And like we use a really old one, and so like it's really hard to get the dials to turn, and so it like really starts to hurt my hands, because anytime you have to, you know, have like whenever your hands are rubbing up against something, you get like that real abrasive feeling, and it really hurts. And so I had to put up with that pretty much all day today, and it's really painful. And it's like one of those like pet peeve type of feelings where like when something happens that just really pisses you off and it makes your body cringe. Like that's exactly what I was getting. It's just this entire skin condition really drives me nuts, and I hate it. I really do. But it's really my own fault though, because like I really slacked off for the last like couple weeks on like drinking proper amounts of water, because you really have to be up on your stuff to keep this at bay. Otherwise it really, like when it happens, it really gets bad. And so you have to drink a lot of water, you got to take all your vitamins, you got to take all the fish oil and all the borage oil, so you can keep your omega oils balanced and your skin up. And it's just a fucking chore, and I hate it. And I didn't do that stuff, and now I'm getting the consequences, and it is not good. So I have put lotion on my hands to try to counteract how fucking dry they are like 11 times today. I'm not even kidding. It just, it sucks. Thank God it is a pear-scented lotion, and pears are the shit. So that's what's up. So my friends, we knocked out 2 more races today, which now takes care of all of these little jokers. So when we come back on the next episode of Let's Play Rush 2 Extreme Racing USA, we're going to take another crack at these guys. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to try the half-pipe course, and I'm going to do something potentially really stupid, and we're going to try it with the rocket car. It's probably not going to work. We're probably going to blow up a lot, and it's probably going to be a giant waste of both yours and my time. We're going to try it anyways, just because sometimes you got to do something dumb. So, until then, my friends, this is your host, AMF1534, saying thank you guys for watching, and don't put protein powder in capsules. Just drink the damn shakes, man. They're good. They're really good. As long as you don't get that Walmart branded shit. That stuff is all bad. So you guys take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.